In this video we are going to take a look on controller layer in Magento 2. In this video we will cover routing, front-end controllers and back-end controllers. First thing we are going to do in controller layer implementation is routing configuration. So in Magento 2 we have two routing configurations, one for front-end area and second for backend area. Let's create both. In Magento model configuration folder, etc, we are going to create the folder named as the area that we are going to configure. And let's create front-end first. Front-end and configuration file for routing should have name routes.xml. I will put the basic content of this file that includes link to XSD and the general config node. You can copy it from any Magento core model. And let's declare our router. So the first node is router. As you can see, thanks to XSD, almost the complete file was generated for us. So router for frontend has ID standard. The route ID I'd like to use is mastering. It's just the first word after slash in navigation pane. Front name, also mastering. And model, it's our model mastering. Sample model. I am going to copy content of this file to use it for backend router as well. So to create backend routes configuration, we have to create a folder named admin.html. That's how backend area is called. And let's create a routes.xml file here. And we'll paste content from our previous file. Actually, for backend, the content of router file will be the same, except router ID, that in this case it will be admin. The model is the same, and I would like to use the same front name as well. Now we have to create the actual controllers. In Magento 2, controllers are stored in controller folder under model directory. And actually controllers are not classes themselves. So controller is a folder. I am going to create controller named index. And in this folder we can create action classes. So we'll create a file named index.php, and this file will be action. This file will be a class for index action. Let me use prepared content. So we are using the correct namespace for our path, index class, that should extend Magento framework app action. Also, I added the use of Magento framework controller result factory because we are going to use it soon. So let's create a hello world output of our controller. First thing, we have to retrieve a result, because execute method that each action should implement has to return either result interface or response interface. For our example, we are going to create a raw result so that we can just assign any content to this result and render it to a page. So for this purpose, we are going to access result factory property and create result factory type raw result. I will also add some hint for PHP Storm to highlight methods of correct raw result interface. And the correct class here will be Magento framework controller result raw. So let's assign a content to result. Result set contents hello world. That's it. Now we have to return this result from execute method. Return result. Good, we just created a controller for front-end area. Let's create a controller for backend area as well. For this purpose, we have to create an admin HTML directory under controller namespace. And here we can create controllers for backend area. So controller index and action index. I have file contents prepared. It's almost the same as front-end controller, but pay attention to admin HTML in namespace, and backend controllers should extend Magento backend app action class. The same execute method, and actually I am going to copy contents for this controller from front-end controller, because basically backend and front-end controllers work the same way. Let's add some difference by changing hello world to hello admins, as admin area will be available only for logged in users to admin panel. Now let's check our implementation in browser. However, first thing I would like to do is to flush Magento cache. So let's navigate to Magento 2 root project directory and call bin Magento cache flush. This will clean our cache, and we have to run this command each time we are changing any XML files, because all XML files are cached in Magento 2. Now let's go to browser. Here's my home page, and as we set front name in our roads.xml file to mastering, let's access mastering. It takes some time to load the page after cache flush, because all cache is regenerated right now. And as you can see, here's our result rendered. Now let's test admin controller. We'll go to admin panel, authorize with credentials specified during installation. Backend has separate cache for some components, so it also takes time. Now, as you can see, there is one problem preventing us from testing backend controller, and it's actually a security feature called secure key for admin panel. During development, it's okay to disable this key for testing purposes. So let's do this. We'll go to Store, Configuration, Advanced Admin, Security, and add secret key to URLs. Uncheck use system value and change the value to no. Save config. Now admin panel available without any secure key, and we can test our controller. So the area is admin, and the front name for backend routes.xml is also mastering. So we'll go to mastering controller, and here you see our result. Hello admins. That's it for this lesson. And in the next video we are going to talk about view layer. See you!